Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Right, welcome back guys to another video, and what we've got for you today is we'll cast back to a couple of videos ago where I videoed the C63 AMG, the black one, which was my old car. Now on the video I did actually mention I've sold the car and I have bought its replacement, and it's just not had time to get around to videoing it, and this is that video. So here is the replacement, and as most of you will probably agree, it is actually, well, I thought it was the ideal replacement, and it is a M2 Competition. So we'll do the usual, we'll go for a little walk around, show you a few little touches that have been done, and then we'll go for a drive. And honestly, this car is absolutely bloody awesome, and I'll go through that in the video. I'm not I'll go through that in the video. Honestly, this thing is absolutely bloody amazing. But yeah, I think so. What we'll do is we'll go for a little walk around the corner and we'll go for a drive. So as per usual guys, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram, Performance_Lifestyles, and we're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles. And if you'd like your car featured, drop us an email, pflifestyle@hotmail.com. The email will be up at the bottom of the screen or at the top of the screen or somewhere on the screen, and it will also be in the description as usual. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the video guys. We'll catch you outside the car. So there it is, the F87, I believe it is, M2 Competition, finished off in black obviously, and the previous owner's done a few touches to it. I've actually not done anything to the car apart from the Diddy plate, which was supplied through Inspire Plates, and their link I will put in the description as well. So yeah, give them a shout if you need any plates or any decals or any stickers or anything like that. But yeah, so here it is, M2 Competition. These things look absolutely epic at the factory, but this one's had a few touches done to it. Power wise, it's completely standard, it's just aesthetic stuff, and it looks amazing. And the biggest part you could probably notice is this massive bulge in the bonnet. It's got a GTS bonnet, which I think looks epic. It's got this little vent here, and then obviously the big bulge there. And I'll put a photo up of this car parked up next to a completely standard M2 Competition, and you'll see the difference. The standard bonnets are very discreet, but this one actually with the GTS bonnet looks absolutely stunning in the flesh. Even on the video, to be fair, I hope it looks pretty as good as it is in the flesh. So yeah, it's got the splitter, which has got a little bit of a chip on that side, but it's minor. And I think the small plate on the front does actually make it look a lot better. Then moving on to the wheels, they've been painted, refurbished in black. They are the standard competition wheels, refurbished in black, with the blue calipers usually refurbished in some funky highlighter yellow, which I've managed to chip. Well, again, that's minor. Standard M2 Comp wing badges, grille things, side skirt extensions. Again, all these touches honestly make the car look so much better than standard. And then obviously Performance Lifestyles, got to have the decals on there. And then onto the back end, you've got the rear spats, the diffuser with the bigger sort of tailpipes. Again, the exhaust is standard, but it's just got the diffuser and the bigger tailpipes. And then it's got this backyard special style sort of spoiler, which I think with the overall look of the car goes quite well. It looks actually quite nice, I'd say. And with the M2 comps, well, with the M2s in general, because they're such a short sort of wheelbase car, and then you get the wider arches on the front, the wider arches on the rear, it almost gives it that pitbull style look. It's like flared out and a normal 2 Series on steroids, and that's exactly what this car looks like. It actually is such an amazing, such a beautiful car, mashallah. It's a beauty. I actually really, really like this. And with me and cars, as you can probably tell on the channel, I don't keep them for too long, but this one I've already had for probably knocking on to about 6 months now, and I'm actually still enjoying the thing, which says a lot, to be fair, because I normally get bored of them after about a month or so. Even from there, like the back end on it, you could tell where the arches actually do flare out quite a bit. You can probably see a bit better from this angle. But yeah, just look at that, they do actually stick out quite a lot. And then same goes for the front. The fronts do flare out as well. And oh, this has also got these little carbon fibre stone chip protector guard things, and it's the same for the back as well. They've got them here, so it stops the chips getting onto the back bumper. That I believe is standard, the aerial thing. And again, Performance Lifestyles YouTube channel decals. It also has had a few bits of coding done, which I will go through on the video, but I mean, just take a look at this thing. It's such a beautiful car, stunning car, and I'm sure you'd agree. So on to the inside. I apologise now, I've not actually got the inside clean, so it is a bit messy. So the first thing you introduce with is M2 Competition sill plates, and again M2 Competition on the actual dials. And there's not really a massive amount of changes on the inside, apart from, with it being a comp, you do get the same or similar seats to the M3 and M4. Now the only difference with these is these come with like an Alcantara side bit here, Alcantara at the bottom here, and then you also get Alcantara on the door cards with leather. And my one does actually have the orange stitching, not the commonly used blue stitching, so it does look quite snazzy. And also I quite like this touch as well. The seatbelt's got the M logo, M sort of like colour theme going, which again is actually quite a decent thing. And then you've also got Alcantara on the gear handbrake. And other than that, the interior is standardish, apart from these big ears on the flappy paddles, which I wasn't a big fan of, in all honesty, but I think they've kind of like grown on me. Because I drive this car practically every day. Every day, near enough. Wasn't the intention, but yeah, it has been used as one. And so they do come handy, because the original ones are fairly tiny, so these actually do make a difference. I'm not a big fan of the red sort of thing. They just remind me of, like I said, big ears and Dumbo and stuff. But yeah, this is actually quite, to use, they're actually very practical. And then with it, the standard features, you get the dry carbon fibre sort of thing on the centre here. You got the gloss black display here. Again, you got the heated seats, the climate control settings here. You got individual settings for either side. Radio stations, I believe they're on. They're quite touch sensitive. I didn't actually realise. The moment you kind of like rub your hands over there, it's like it starts playing up on the screen. I won't turn it on, but, and then it's also got, with it being a later car, it's got the touchscreen thing there. Oh, it's telling me notification. No notification now, because it's probably because the door's open. So yeah, it's actually a very, very good car, and as you can tell, it's the 20th of May today. Oh, it also does have the Harman Kardon sound system, electric seats, heated seats. It has got, if I remember correctly, it's got the Plus pack and I think it's Comfort pack. So it's basically got all the options. It's got the LED adaptive icon headlights, which I think was a must-have. I think the normal ones don't look as good, and the competitions do come with the normal ones as well, so these are an optional extra. And I think they make the front end, especially in the dark, look very aggressive. Especially with the rest of the touches on the car, they actually does look very, very aggressive. Standard M2s, when you see them on the road, they've got a presence, but this one, you know, Alhamdulillah, it's actually a beautiful car. And I really like it. That's the main thing. That's the biggest thing. And then with the standard thing again, black roof lining, 4-seater, so you get your 2 seats in the back, and all the usual, you know, features. And then this one is the DCT. I didn't want the manual. I'm not a big BMW manual car fan, so it had to be the DCT. And then you got these standard traction. I believe that's similar to your throttle response. Yeah, you can mess about with it there. Parking sensors, and that's for your gearbox, the DCT setting, so you can have it sharper or slower and stuff. Couple of cup holders, which clearly aren't being used as cup holders. So yeah, the red flappy paddles, you get the red M1 and M2 buttons, which I'll go through what they do later on in the video. And you also get the red engine stop and start, engine on and off sort of button, which is an aftermarket thing. This is a low mileage car. It's only done just over 20,000 miles, and it's actually quite a nice thing. And also these dials here, they've got, if I press that button again, yeah, they've got the M2 logo lights up at the top there, and the rest of it does look fairly like a digitalized sort of screen, which is quite a decent sort of thing. And then obviously you get your the top BC button, which goes through different settings, MPG, miles per hour, date, temperature, and also you can have like a slightly bigger speed display, which I believe will only show up when the car's running. So you can have your speedometer, digital speedometer displayed on the middle there. So yeah, it is actually, honestly, it's such a beautiful car, and I feel, alhamdulillah, I feel blessed to actually be able to get one. And it's something that I was after. I was after an M2 or an M2 Comp, but it had to be the right budget because I didn't want to pay over the odds for one just for the sake of buying a car. And this one popped up, so I had to catch a flight all the way to Scotland, lastminute.com, and bought the car and drove it back. And it's been, you know, it's been an absolute joy ever since. I have kind of like delayed recording the car because I didn't have time, but I did actually kind of like stone chipped it, but he popped one of the radiators as well, so I had to get that done, which is all sorted now. So, and service ready to enjoy for the summer, really, because that is the plan with this car. But that is just a plan. So if something comes up, then it might be available for sale. So we'll see how that plays out. So there is the heart of this thing, and with it being a competition, it does come with the S55 power plant and not the N55. So this is a twin turbocharged engine, which is exactly the same as the M3 and M4s come with. So it's the better engine, but not the better sounding engine, because the N55, the normal M2 OGs or whatever they call them, they actually do sound better. But again, coming from the C63 that I had before this, I don't think any of them will sound as good as that, because that was a straight pipe car. And like I said, the video is up on the channel, so do feel free to check that out. Now the best thing about these is, you know, you get the massive carbon fibre strut brace here, which the normal M2 doesn't come with, and obviously you got the M-Power cover here. The normal one is literally just one big cover. You don't get the charge cooler on them, I believe. I mean, do correct me if I'm wrong. And so yeah, and one thing I did realise was the passenger side front radiator, which is there, is actually runs off the radiator, so that's like the high temperature, so the coolant expansion tank. But the one on the right side is from the charge cooler. So that was a bit of a confusing thing when looking into it. Well, yeah, it's you get the main radiator at the front, and then the passenger side one, which is off the normal coolant, and the other one is off the charge, alongside the other charge cooler, which is there. And but yeah, it's fairly standard. It is completely standard on performance side. I do have a couple of plans which I may or may not go ahead with, is change the intakes, put some behind the bumper, and hopefully just for a bit of noise. I'm not planning on doing any sort of modifications, power modifications to it. I've got no intentions of doing that. I'm going to use the car, enjoy it, rather than be worried about the infamous crank hub failure. So yeah, we'll see how that plans goes along. But yeah, honestly, I think with the bonnet, all the rest of the touches, I'm sure you'd agree. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And I think it actually looks absolutely stunning, and it is a very, very attractive, good looking car. Allahumma barik, it's a beautiful car. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll go for a quick little spin, and then we'll conclude the video. So I hope you enjoy the video, guys. As per usual, subscribe to our channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram, performance_lifestyles, and we're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles. And if you'd like your car featured, drop us an email, pflifestyle@hotmail.com, and we will be more than happy to accommodate. But there is for today, the M2 Competition. Well, on to the drive of this M2 Competition. I mean, I've been using this car now as a daily for the best part of, 5 months or so, whatever it's been. And honestly, it's every time you jump into this car to drive it, it's actually a joy to drive. The difference I found with this compared to the previous, like the M4 convertible I had, which the video is on the channel, so do check that out. And that was an absolutely beautiful car to drive. And I did actually think it was going to be difficult to beat that car in terms of the drive of it, but I was so wrong. The moment I jumped into this, not only does it drive like the M4 but better. This just feels a lot more agile, a bit nimble, bit focused. It's just very, very focused. It almost reminds me of, I know some people will probably say no, but it almost reminds me of, that was a nod of acknowledgement from another 2 Series owner, but it almost reminds me of a Japanese car, because they do feel focused and poised and just very precise, and this gives you that same sort of feeling. And the DCT gearbox is beautiful. I know a lot of people say that the manual is more of a driver's car, but with these new age sort of automatic gearboxes, they are great. You cannot fault them. It does the job, and it does it in such a beautiful manner. I mean, at the minute I'm driving it in normal, completely normal, it's efficient, and steering's in sport. Yeah, you can just potter around town, there's no problems at all. But the moment I put it into M1, I've got set up as everything's in sport plus, and it's in manual gear change, but all the traction is on, so which is what I usually do drive it around in. And so like there now, it's gone into 6th gear, and automatically you can feel the throttle response just sharpen up. It's just very, very sensitive. But then if you put it into M2, it asks you, are you sure you want to go into this, confirm you want to go into this mode, and then you press yes, and that goes into, so set up as traction is in MDM, so it allows the back end to step out a little bit when you want it to, and yeah, it just makes you look like a better driver than you actually are when it comes to drifting and stuff. So, but it still can be a bit of a handful, and it still can catch you out, so just be very careful. If you've never had any experience with any rear wheel drive cars, you jump into a rear wheel drive car that's about as powerful as one of these, you know, over 400 horsepower as standard, just be very careful, because they will catch you out. Drop it into 2nd gear. Honestly, these things feel like a bit of a rocket thing. It's a very short wheelbase car with over 400 horsepower, and the way it puts the power down is awesome. Honestly, it is such an immense car. There's so much joy, so much fun driving one of these cars. Whether you're just tooting around or whether you're giving them some, they are just an absolute joy to drive. This is, for me personally, it's a big part of ownership and stuff. I know some people want the more refined sort of thing and with power, but I prefer something that you can actually enjoy the drive of, so you feel like you're actually driving something that's special. And an M2 Competition is actually a very, very, very special car. Like I said, I was after one for a while. I had to wait for the right one, and yeah, I waited for the right one, and Alhamdulillah, I managed to pick this one up, and this is just, the gear change is like bang, snap, rapid, very quick gear change. And with it having a switchable exhaust on it, the moment you put it into, well, M1 mode or Sports Plus mode, the exhaust valves open up, so you do get the crackles and pops. Now, I believe this car has had, from what I was told by the previous owner, was it's had some sort of an exhaust mod done to it. It does sound louder than standard, but it's still, when you're in normal mode, it's completely quiet. When you're in sports mode, it does open it up a little bit, but it sounds just right. There's no drone, there's nothing. It's literally the perfect OEM sort of M2 Competition. And it does actually growl at you. It does, I don't know if the microphone will pick it up, but it does have that what I'll do is I'll try getting a clip of that from the back of the car. with the camera on the outside, and I'll put the clip up here and you'll see what I mean. I hope it picks it up, because it does sound quite nice. It's not overly loud like some cars you do see quite loud. I knew one of the lads that I know used to have one of these. This was when they were practically brand new, and yeah, he had some crazy exhaust setup on it, and it was just loud, and it sounded good. It actually sounded very good. But me being an old man, I don't think I could live with that every day. Yeah, this is definitely one of the best M cars that you can potentially buy today, or around £40,000. Right then, folks, I'm going to conclude the video for today. I really hope you've enjoyed that video. Yeah, and it's been a long time since I've had it, and I've managed to video this car now. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram, performance_lifestyles, and we're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles. And if you'd like your car featured, drop us an email, pflifestyle@hotmail.com. The email will be at the bottom of the screen, at the top of the screen, somewhere on the screen, and definitely will be in the description. So do drop us an email, and we'll be more than happy to get your car featured on the channel. And as per usual, guys, stay safe, and hopefully we will catch you on the next video. Ha ha ha!